Hey, welcome back to Far Kingdoms.
We're coming to you from a log cabin up in the Cindertusks.
Oh, yes, we are. It is cold.
We've got a nice fireplace going here. This is nice and cozy.
Ooh.
We rented it off Airbnb.
Airbnb. Yeah. Oh, you feeling cold?
Yeah, I'm feeling cold. I could go for some.
Oh, I could brew something.
Yeah.
I could brew this.
Hey, what's that you got there?
I got a hot cup of cocoa.
Oh.
Oh, you want to know where from?
Where's it from?
A little town south of the Amber Coast called Inverness.
Inverness?
Yeah. Here, try it.
Oh, give me some. Hey, that's pretty good.
Ooh.
That's pretty good. I'm gonna say.
Why you make Minecraft drinking noises?
You gotta play it up for the thing.
What did you think of last session?
It was good. It was good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely some very unexpected bits there.
Yes, sir.
I think we're really off to a good start for this new campaign. We had a chat before the session about what our expectations were, and you had explained to us that it was all about heroism and getting glory and doing big things in the name of getting glory and fame and stuff. But it's not just about going big as a hero, but it's also about what it means to be a hero, what everyone thinks about being heroes. Being hero, you know, is being hero just going big, or is it being more than that? Is it, well, what happens after you go big? You know, who do you become? How do you shape the world?
Yeah.
What do people think of you?
Yeah.
Some people don't turn out the way you think
Don't
meet your heroes.
Spoiler alert. A little taste of what's to come, huh?
Yeah, should we get into
a little taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, about that, right? So, I think that's the major difference I want between last campaign and this campaign, right? It's the theme of heroism, right? Because I want you guys as players to do a lot of stupid shit, like a lot of like risky stupid shit that you would never ever even think about doing, or you would just not do at all in the Axie campaign, right? Because there was this overall theme of don't do this because you'll die,
because it's too much at stake.
Yeah, it's this very serious and stuff.
Yeah.
And while there are some serious themes in this one, I think this world that I want to create sort of encourages that sort of behavior, right?
Yeah.
Like everybody in the world does stupid shit because they want to be famous too. They want to be big and cool and stuff, right? So as players, I want you guys to take those bigger risks, for sure. Right? Do that dumb cool shit that you always want to do, but you're too afraid to say, right? Just do it. Just do it. The consequences are not as dire or as serious anymore. So now is the time, right? Yeah. So I want to make that point stick. Right?
Yeah.
I want this to be the fun, kooky kind of a little bit crazy, but there's still a little serious too.
I think we're getting there. I think the party dynamic really helps with that. It's it's way different than the Axie campaign party. You know, we've got a few quite edgy boys, but I think the majority of the party have it's sort of like Storm, but he's split up into like all these different characters, and they're all bubbly and in their own way.
Yeah, everyone's a little eccentric.
Yeah,
got a little weirdness to them, which is good. The last session was what, 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, feels like months ago. Feels like months ago.
That's the problem with having weekly sessions.
Yeah, we were supposed to have fortnightly sessions. It wasn't the fact that it was like a monthly session. It was a monthly session. It'd be easier to digest.
Yeah.
It'd be an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah.
But
it's not supposed to.
We kept having scheduling hell. And we push it back, and we kept pushing it back.
Well, for that one Sunday, I had a very good reason.
Okay, well,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I had a very
okay, shut up.
I mean, did you feel there's a difference between like going from week to week to a month in terms of like forgetting stuff or stuff like that?
I definitely feel like you tend to lose a lot of momentum. I think people, and we discussed this a little bit beforehand before we started recording, that most people were all right with, getting caught up with what happened last session. You know, Lewis and Lachlan read up on their backstory, and Aiden is thinking about his character.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about my character.
Yeah.
I don't know about Matt and AK, but you know, benefit of the doubt. I'm pretty sure they were thinking about it too.
Yeah, I'm sure they were thinking about it. They were absolutely thinking about it.
Did they ever approach you about it?
All they think about is D&D all the time. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Take your word for it.
Yeah.
I believe.
Absolutely.
But it's more, I think, now that I think about it, you lose the momentum. You lose a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And I think that you have to compensate it by having to warm up at the start of the session and then get back into it.
Yeah.
That way.
Yeah. Because I'm really happy that Lewis and Lachlan actually read through their backstories before they came.
Yeah.
Because it helped a fucking lot with events that happened down the road, right?
Yep.
Especially like Aiden, right? When he was writing his character quirks and backstory, and he was working and developing his character. A lot of that came into play. Like a lot of that came into play, right? So it's really good that they sort of kept thinking about it.
It's all down the drain now.
No, we don't know that. We don't know
You
that.
completely trashed his
We
character.
don't know that. We don't know that.
You completely trashed the character.
He's gonna change. It's redemption. I have faith that he can make this work.
He can make it work.
He can make this work somehow.
Okay.
He can make this work somehow, right?
But the second session, the second session, you're gonna let him have it a little bit, and then
he did. He got it. And then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you. I wanna fuck you. Yeah, in-person session. Thank fucking God, is good.
Yeah,
Is good.
it's much better.
Is good. The snacks. There's chatting. There's vibes. There's little like side conversations where you're talking like in character to each other,
Yeah.
but you're not really. But it's also like it's good.
Yeah.
It's good. You can't do that online. It's so much better. It's so much better.
And hopefully we can have another in-person session on the 25th, which is our next scheduled date.
Should we get into it?
All right, we're into it.
Okay. So we sort of rewind time just a little bit to start this session, right?
Yep.
We start around the statue instead of going straight into the forest, right? To get a little more backstory on Mr. One-Armed Kruger and what he represents in this world.
Yeah, you
right?
took my advice, you
Yeah.
know, using Grandpa Dong as a
Grandpa
sort of
Dong is the
launch pad for like
the mouth.
into the discussion.
Yeah. And it gave you guys the opportunity to ask questions and sort of make comments on what you think being a hero is, or stuff like that. And Grandpa Dong's view on it is that One-Armed Kruger, he was a badass guy, dude. He was born with one arm, and he did a bunch of cool shit, and he fought in the Cardinal Wars. He beat up a bunch of dudes. And he's even better for it because he didn't have any like a dark side to him, right?
Yeah,
He wasn't like
good through and through.
he wasn't like beating up old people on the side like as like a villain or anything. He was good through and through. Like he settled down, had a family, made a little town,
community,
and died of old age, which is very, very rare for people like that, right? And which is huge. And so Grandpa Dong seeing this fucking defiled, desecrated statue on the ground just crumbled into pieces. He's like, this sucks. Like this was like a good man, and he got fucked. He got fucked, yeah. And all his ancestors, they seem to have gone fucked too.
It's just a disgrace.
Yeah, it's absolutely a disgrace. Everyone else had similar. Well, there wasn't that many comments on it.
Yeah.
But I feel like as we go on, they're gonna develop their opinions on stuff like this, especially.
And I think it suffered from the momentum thing. Everyone's warming up. Because everyone's warming up to the session again.
Yeah, and it's hard to just jump straight into character again.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough. I understand that. And you guys being heroes and stuff, you guys just like, let's go chase these guys down into the forest, because that's what adventurers do, right? Grandpa Dong's like, I'm gonna take a chill. I'm gonna rest.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I want to chill here.
Conveniently.
Yeah,
Stay here.
I'm gonna stay
watch
here.
the car.
Yeah. Let me mind the car. I'll stay here while you guys get the groceries, you know?
Yep.
Yeah. And so you guys, God, there's a lot of good banter between the characters.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, like what?
The fucking the smelling of the dirt and the fucking the prints on the ground and the scent lines and shit like that. It's like, I don't know what the fuck you guys are talking about, but it's good. It's good. like Kronar was lying about seeing fucking scent lines, and you're tasting the dirt off the ground.
Anyone get the reference I was making with the scent lines?
It was a Monster Hunter?
It was Witcher.
A Witcher.
I said the guy with the two swords, and he could
Oh,
see it.
that's what you meant by the guy with two swords? I was
Yeah.
like, this is some obscure reference to something I don't know, but everyone just kind of ran with it.
I was gonna say the guy with the white hair and the two swords, but I think that would have been too on the nose. And
I still wouldn't have gotten it, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't what I was thinking about.
it's a Witcher. I mean, it's strictly Witcher 3. Like he'll like, I don't know. He like does a sniff thing, and then you can see the scent lines, and you can track the monster.
It was good, right? So you guys are kind of carving your way through this forest, and then there's this moment where, who was it? It was Zeke. How are the trees feeling?
The trees.
Can I get a vibe check on the trees? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I thought my character, we had. I remember a conversation we had in the first session about him being a druid, right? And he was like, "Hey, you got to care about nature and all this." And he was very tree hugger.
yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, he's chopping up, Kronars at
Yeah.
the front, like doing the typical explorer machete cutting,
Yeah.
bushwhacking through the forest." And he's like, "Hey, he's cutting up all the trees.
What do you feel about
that? Hey, isn't that bad for the trees? What do they cut, like a vital artery or something? They just they bleed out." And it's like, hey, stop. Let me vibe check the trees.
Let me check if it's okay with the trees.
And he like hugs the tree.
Yeah.
And he does a nature check, and I think he gets like 20,
19 or something. 19 or
19?
something, yeah.
and it feels sad. He like feels sad. Like he gets like the
Yeah.
emotional transfer.
Yeah.
And it's like, stop! Don't cut the trees. And then everyone else is like,
They stop.
hey, wait, what?
Really?
Hmm?
Really? Really?
I think the only other person who like gets that feeling is
Crag.
beef jerky.
Beef
Crag.
jerky? Why you call him beef jerky?
Hey, because he's all scarred. He's all scarred. He's got scars all over his body. He looks a bit like beef jerky.
Yeah. I love how we take character sizes into account when we do roleplay.
Yep.
Like we talk about them hugging the tree, but they only get around like a little
Yeah.
corner of it.
Yeah.
So it's both Crag and Yuri hugging the same tree and still not being able to encompass
Yeah.
all of it. It's great. Like it's very helpful in like visualizing what they sort of look like.
Mm-hmm.
And like it comes into play again when you like jump on their backs and do back maneuvers and whatnot. And like Yuri's just playing along. He has no idea. Like I remember asking him like, does Yuri actually feel anything? He's like, nah, I don't feel a fucking thing now in these trees.
I mean, he's pretending that he is. He's like one of the things where it's like placebo effect. You think you're feeling something, and then you actually feel something, but you don't actually.
Yeah. Or like he just felt like left out, so he's like, yeah, I feel
Oh,
it too. I feel that too.
I want to contribute.
Yeah, me too.
Let me
me too.
participate.
Oh god, yeah. The vibe between you guys is really, I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking good. So what happens next?
I think we hear a guy screaming, and he's like, "Help! Help! Help!" And we're like, "Hey, we're coming! We're coming!" And then I think we get caught up talking about like somebody still talking about the trees and stuff.
Yeah.
And then and he's like, "Hey,
I'm still helping.
And we're like, "Hey, wait a second! We're coming! We're coming!"
It's such a disjointed. It was comedic in that. That probably would never happen in Axio, right?
Yeah.
It's comedic in that. It's sort of like meta-ish gaming.
Yeah.
Where I'm pointing out that there is an obvious discrepancy between what's actually occurring and what the party's doing, like the metagame part of it.
Yep.
And I think it's fun. I think it's fun doing stuff like that. So that's a bit of a thematic change.
It's very like pirate vibes. You're not taking it very seriously at all.
Yeah.
And so you're just free to like, even though this is like the dichotomy of this guy. He's like crying for help because he's in a lot of distress, and we're too busy trying to figure out if the trees are sad or not.
And eventually you guys get to him, right?
Yeah.
And then it's this bear of a man, this big bear shifting man. He's got this lumberjack's axe, and he's chopping away at the bottom of this tree. And there's this like little girl's hand, or like a little child's hand, sticking out of the tree, and she's slowly being pulled into this fucking tree. And he's like, "God, someone help me, Jesus Christ!" Crag runs up to help out, and he gets the axe off the guy, and I think he slams it, and he gets his warhammer, his hammer, and like uses it as a wedge.
Yep.
And starts chopping that way.
Mm-hmm.
I think Lucian. Was it Lucian who comes around the other side, and he starts helping chopping down.
Yep.
And eventually it starts to lean over, and Krona, who decided to veer off from the rest of the party because he wanted to chop the trees down without Zeke knowing.
Yeah.
He comes around the side and he sees the tree leaning over, so he starts running up and does a fucking flying kick into the tree to help push it down. And there's that moment where everyone was like, "Wait, are we gonna crush the child's arm by doing this?" And then I debated with myself, like, is this something we want to make a joke out of? Like, are we gonna roll a d4 and see if we crush a child's arm here? I'm like, oh, maybe.
Why is always a kid, huh? Why is always a kid? We're not
killing kids.
Why are we gonna do something with a kid, man?
We're not killing kids. You're saving kids.
Why are we gonna break a kid's arm? Why are we gonna mutilate kids all the time?
That's why I was like, we're not doing this again. We're not doing this again. You're gonna save the kid. You're gonna save the kid. It's gonna be good. You're gonna be good. So the thing falls down, and the kid's still kind of trapped in there, and the guy's trying to scramble out. And then Mr. who has somehow assimilated himself into the gorilla mode. He has.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I didn't even notice it. I just heard, okay, I'm a gorilla now. I don't even know what he was trying to do.
I am a gorilla now. I don't know why that stuck as his thing now, but apparently his monkey gorilla boy.
I mean, you can take the storm out of the jungle, but you can't take the jungle out of the storm.
I guess. Zeke turns into a gorilla, and he runs up and he gets his gorilla grip. He parts it like this, and then everyone was like, "What you doing with your hands there? Why are you parting it?"
Why is everyone gonna make the tree have a pussy? They're like, "Hey, why are you parting the tree pussy?" And then Lachlan's like, "You mean the trussy? I go look in the trussy." And everyone's like, "Oh, come on, don't call it the trussy."
Part the trussy here and see what's in there.
Yep.
And he gets his grips in, and he rolls the athletics check, and he tears it open, and
gets the girl.
This child who's sort of like having her skin pierced by like bark slowly pulls her out, and she's sort of bleeding, and she's sort of unconscious, and the guy's like, "Oh, my daughter, my beautiful daughter, someone help me heal her." And then you guys are like, "Are we gonna heal his heal? Like, does anyone know heals?"
I think later is sort of a heal. I've got cure wounds, and I've got this like experimental elixir which can heal if I get the roll.
Oh, it's random?
Yeah, so I get 6 effects, I roll a d6 to see which one I get, and that one I got 3, which is resilience, you get +1 AC, and I gave it to Crag.
I see.
But that can heal. It's not a big heal, but it can heal. And I've got cure wounds as well.
Right. So Zeke ends up using his cure wounds on the little girl. He puts his hand on her, the glowing pulse of light kind of radiates out from it and kind of lights up the little dim forest you're in, and the warm glow goes through her skin, the energy, her wounds start to rejuvenate, and the bark starts getting pushed out of her skin, falling to the ground into the snow.
But she's still unconscious.
Yeah. She's still unconscious. And the guy's like, "Oh, thank you so much, please. My wife, she got taken too. If you can save her, you can have my wedding ring." So he puts around a band on his neck, and you can have this. I'll give it to you if you find my wife and you come back.
Two like opposing. This Crack's like, "Oh, we'll give it our best shot, but no guarantees." And we're just like, "We're definitely bringing it back, alive or dead, guaranteed."
She's probably dead, but we'll bring her back.
We'll bring her back.
He's like, "Oh, my wife! What the fuck?"
We're taking that ring, bro. We're taking the ring.
Craig's like, "We're not taking the ring.
We're taking the ring. We're taking the ring. We're busting our ass." And somebody, I think Uri's like, "Yeah, that's why you're poor. you never take the reward."
But like it shows Crag's character, right?
Yeah.
As this sort of selfless.
He's an honorable guy.
He does stuff just because he likes helping people, right?
Yeah.
Which is really sort of like a really good insight into his character, and then it shows your characters as sort of naive and
privileged.
Like we're doing something. Why aren't we getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
But what's the point?
Yeah.
What's the point? We need money.
Yeah.
We need money. And so you guys are like, "Oh well, she's probably dead, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll definitely bring her back.
We'll see what we can do, right?"
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys keep moving through this forest, and you eventually catch sight using scent lines, which
Mm,
aren't
scent
really
lines,
scent
yeah,
lines.
yeah.
He's pretending there's
We're
scent
just
lines,
following
but
the
he's just looking
tracks.
at the footprints
The
on the
the
ground.
tracks.
Yeah. And you follow these tracks to a group of 4 wolves, 2 bears, and this woman, this dark elf. She's not dark elf. This elf lady,
Mhm.
right? She's got sort of pointed ears. She's got green tribal tattoos. These emerald eyes. She's got this large staff and these green robes that go down. She's leading them, and she's got this journal in one hand, this circular object under her arm, and she's got the staff, right? And then Lewis, obviously, he calls out, "Hey, isn't that the marble statue head?" I'm like, oh yeah, fine, fuck you, yeah, it is, whatever.
You wanted that to be a big reveal when she tossed.
Yeah, when he tossed it, and then
tossed
it turns into the guy, and then he's like, "No, that's the statue." I'm like, "Oh, fuck." Yeah, good.
Yeah, you can't have everything. Can't have everything.
Look, I'm happy he remembers things. He
Yeah.
picks up on things. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's good.
And then we jump into our first combat session of the campaign.
That's right. That's
Combat
right.
session,
That's right.
which it goes well. We beat her up.
Yeah, you fuck her up. You fuck her up.
That was too easy. She's supposed to be the big bad of the past era.
Yeah, but she's like, it's been 20 years, and she's like,
She's weakened.
She's weakened.
She's like a little crone.
Yeah.
Oh, isn't she like a hot elf?
She's hot, but she's weak. She's kind of skinny. She's kind of like impoverished, you know.
Okay.
She's been in jail the last 20 years, so she lost everything, right?
Okay.
So she's
Well,
currently...
shouldn't she have like a massive posse? Because she's like the wings of freedom guys. Frito.
No, they just let her out and let her do her thing.
Oh,
right?
okay. Yep.
And so she started doing her thing, but now she's weak, right? She's been 20 years, and she's still trying to grow her power, right? And
Yeah.
so maybe down the line she's a little bit stronger next time you fight her.
We didn't kill her. We didn't kill her.
Yeah, she didn't.
Yeah, you're lucky we didn't kill her. We're lucky we didn't kill her.
Yeah, I asked when AK got the final, when Lucian got the final. So I was like, hey, is it lethal, non-lethal? lethal, non-lethal. Lethal, non-lethal. He's like, non-lethal. I'm like, oh.
Well, you're lucky we got caught up in the discussion where we thought if she was the wife or not. It's like, she's the wife. She's got to be the wife. It's got to be that. That's where the set line goes.
Connection, yeah.
That's where the set line
goes to her. She must be the wife.
Yeah,
Come the wife.
this is the wife.
Don't kill her. She could be the wife.
Yeah.
There was this moment before combat where like Crag's like, we should kill her. Anyone else think we should kill her, Crag? And then Krona's like, I mean, you are the guy. You are my partner, so I guess I have to kind of support you.
It's so much for the leadership role that I think that dynamic is that Crag is trying to be this mentor for this guy. Well, they're technically the same age, but I think the experience leads him to be the mentor figure. And it's like you should step up. You should step up and take charge of this rabble. Right?
Show them your voice. Yeah.
I liked how he was like, you've got the two humans, quote unquote. Yeah. They've got some experience. So, I mean, they could be good. I mean, and then you've got the 2 fucksticks,
two fucking idiots,
two drunks. This is a good opportunity to take charge.
Yeah.
Which just didn't happen.
I was like, yeah, no, I mean,
let me keep pretending that I can see something.
Sun lines. And Zeke is of the opinion that you should straight up talk to her. Let's just go up there and talk to her.
Everyone was like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. And then somebody was like, okay, where does the scent line lead? This is because she has like a bunch of wolves and bears with her. Yeah. And Wilton goes to her. It's like, oh, she's the wife.
Wait, that means
she's the wife. She's the wife.
Yeah.
She's the wife. She's the wife.
So we kill her, we knock her out, we kill her, and then everyone's like, oh, we incapacitate her, and we talk to her afterwards, right?
Yeah.
And so Crag and Lucian come up with this idea. Why don't we hammer throw?
Yep.
I was looking at my notes, looking at the stat blocks, and I heard hammer throw. I'm like, what the fuck? What are you doing? And so they decide to reenact the 2020 Olympics.
Yep.
2021 Olympics or whatever. And do a hammer throw. Where they spin around, Crag's still attached to his hammer, and Lucian spins around a few times and throws the hammer towards the lady, right? Mm-hmm. And they both roll like shit. Lucian gets like an 8 or a 9, and Crag gets a 2, I think.
Yep.
And so the hammer just veers off into this completely, not the wrong direction, but like off angle by quite a bit.
Yeah, they missed.
Yeah, they missed. And there's a moment where Ezri looks at Crag, and Crag looks at Ezri as she's passing by. Yep. And Crag loses control of his hammer because he rolled a 2, and so now he's separated from his hammer. He's just kind of sitting there on the ground, just looking up at her. And then there's this awkward moment where he's making excuses like, oh, I was at the forge and then I hit something. Now
got
I'm
lost.
Oh, that's crazy. How? Hi, how are you? Who are you? And she is like, just gonna kill him.
Attack.
Kill him.
Attack.
Kill him. She's a bitch. Just kill him. So the wolves and the bear start going towards you, and then the combat starts. It's pretty...
The standard combat.
It's not bad. There's the added difficult terrain. There was some effects if you guys actually ended up killing any of the animals, but we never actually got to that point, right?
No, I think we focused on her.
Yeah, it was a good idea. Good strat. She summons this replica of one-armed Kruger.
Using the marble head.
And there's a vine monster with the head attached who's got one arm, he's got this massive axe, and he starts attacking Crag. But Krona with the dirty nat 20, and with the nat 20. The clean nat 20. With the added benefit of using his fire rune.
So what was the calculation there? How was it so high?
So it's nat 20, right? But he also used a fire rune, which adds 2d6 fire damage.
Ooh, okay.
Right? So that's a crit also. And also, on top of that, the fire damage is doubled because
it's weak to
he's
fire.
vulnerable to fire.
Oh,
right?
okay,
So it ended up being like 55 damage, and this thing just fucking explodes into fire, and it's shackled down onto the ground with these fiery shackles. And my cool mini boss gets one shot. I'm like, oh, it was gonna be cool. And then
we kneecap that bitch.
She gets fucked up. She fails every fucking saving throw. I'm like, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, I poison her, and then she gets a disadvantage on ability checks and attack rolls. Yeah, which that works. Yeah. And then it works out.
Lucky, fucking Krona uses his stone rune, and she's like woozy and incapacitated. And then
that's a cool. This is a runic fighter. Is that a new subclass?
Yeah,
what's that?
It's from where Tasha's Cauldron.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then Zeke moonbeams her.
Yep.
And she's getting fucked. She's getting fucked.
Yep.
I really like your description of how you fucking make potions and throw them at her. You fucking cough into one of them. Give her COVID.
Well, like you got an alchemist, so you got to I think they're all. I mean, as written, they're like magical effects. Yeah. But then, as an alchemist, you flavor it up, you know?
Yeah, you do whatever you want, yeah.
I like to think that Leto doesn't actually have that much magic in him. It's mostly just the potions. So it's like cure wounds, then he's got like a potion. He's got like you can make like a pseudo health potion and use that to help people. And buffing people's armor and stuff. It's not that he's making it magically harden or anything. He's got a paste. Then he like he's treating on bean paste, and then you rubs it on, and there's oil, and it makes the sword harder.
Fucking the bow, the sticky bow. I was like, this is disgusting. Ew. But it works out because he gets that nat 20 with that bow. So I mean, who can say? Yeah. I mean, maybe you did have a great effect in that fight.
Yeah, I'm support now.
Yeah, support.
I don't shoot. I don't just shoot.
You just you take this +1 AC. Take this +1 to attack.
Yep.
I don't know. I guess it works. It works, right? Can you precast that before the battle?
I can, because they're permanent effects. Until I change them.
Oh shit! What?
Because I can infuse 2 things at once, and they're permanent until like I die or whatever, or I change the infusion. So I could have done that before, but I actually was spending most of that time when we were trying to free the girl, just figuring out what does my guy do, and there was one point where there was the ability to like infuse item.
Yeah.
And I remember picking them when I was creating the character, but it doesn't show up. Like you don't technically pick anything when you create the character in D&D Beyond. So it's just infuse item, right? And then it says, oh, you get to pick up to 4, but it doesn't show you like what you picked because you can't pick.
Right, you just have to
so I was like, oh fuck. So I went into the list and like reread everything and then like picked my things, my 4 infusions. And then I wrote them down in the notes, and I was like, okay. And then by the time the fight came around, I was like, okay, now I know. I just spent so long trying to figure out what I could do.
Yeah. Eventually you got it.
Yeah, I've got so many weird... They've got so many weird artifacts. I've got the experimental elixir, I've got the infusion, I've got this magical tinkering stuff where I can infuse objects with like light or like put a recording of like 25 words into them and throw them like little noise grenade or something like that.
That's cool.
It's not it doesn't do damage, but like
like a sound distraction.
Yeah, sound distraction or something like that.
That's cool.
And then I've got typical magic on top of that.
It's very cool, and you're not the only one with a cool new class, because Mr. Crag with his wild magic barbarian.
That's cool.
With his crazy effects, right?
Yeah.
He's got the pixies, that suicide bombing. He's got the tendrils of things that make difficult terrain around him. Is wild. She's wild.
Are you using the vanilla wild
No pun
surge?
intended. Yeah. Everything is as written. And currently, I think it's fine. But like we discussed later,
There's some cool tables out there.
it might need some changing.
Yeah.
Might need some fixing later. But
some cool
for now,
things.
it's pretty good. You fuck her up.
Yep.
Yes, fuck her up. Lucian picks up Yuri, and Yuri's like, I want to be thrown too.
Yep.
Let me be thrown too.
Take 2.
And they get like a 19 and like a 25 or some shit with their throw,
Yep.
and it's perfecto. It's perfecto. Lucian has learned from his past mistakes. He has the perfect hammer throw. It's directly at her, and Yuri with his incredible acrobatics, plus he got like 25, and he's like sailing through the air. He's doing little flips and shit, and he's like torpedoing towards her. He's like, I want to grab the staff. I'm like, huh? I want to grab the staff?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we can put it under like a strength contest. And she's like kind of fucked up, and she's poisoned, so she's gonna get disadvantage on the strength contest. And so he's like, yeah, we can do that. And so she rolls like shit. She gets like a 5 or something, and Yuri gets like an 8. So it's very, very close. He grabs a staff, and then on his next turn, he plants a staff into the ground. And he says like, stop.
Yep.
And we don't forget that the staff is like 3 times his height. We gotta remember this stuff. And he's like, stop. And the animals kind of lay down on the ground, and she gets.
And the vines go away.
Yeah, the vines go away.
We knock her out.
She gets
We
knocked
kneecap
out
her.
with Crag runs up, kneecaps her, and then
Yeah.
Lucian finishes her off with a Eldritch Blast, right?
Yeah.
She gets knocked out to the ground, and her journal stumbles to the ground, and Yuri gets to pick it up and flick through and be like, oh, something.
Central Spire.
Central Spires.
Yeah.
Central Spires.
Yep.
It turns out that Kruger met the Askiran god, the Askir, right? The big
a long
white
time
tiger,
ago, yeah.
a long time ago. And he had all his memories erased at the moment, but he hired someone to follow him. And it turns out he went to the Central Spires, and that's as far as that guy could get.
And that's like, what, in the middle of the continent?
It's in the middle. It's
the middle of the continent? The high level area, right? We were talking about before.
No. Middle of this side of the continent. Middle of this, of Askir.
Okay.
Right. And that's like, wink, wink. We should go that way.
Yep.
We should go that way, you know.
Yep.
And you hear this leonic roar in the distance. Leonin.
We get this roar, right?
This lion
It
roars.
sounds like a lion.
Yeah, and there's reverberating. It's like deep and bassy, and like
Closer
the trees are
and
kind of
closer.
shaking as well. It's like something's coming. Something big's coming. And then we take a smoke break. This almost has to take like a phone call and there's a break.
But we come back from the break.
Yeah.
Come back from the break, and we find what emerges from the bushes is this massive, ripped, toned,
Yeah.
huge,
Yeah.
lion-in warrior.
Yeah.
He's covered in half plate. He's got this silver blonde hair, and it's just like, you know, it's looking majestic and shining in the snow, and he comes out, and it's him. It's the guy.
Who?
It's that guy.
That guy.
It's Zarum.
Yeah. He's in the posters. He's got his own theme song. He's legendary.
Yuri's just going crazy. He's fanboy.
Yuri's
He
like,
runs straight over.
"Oh
and
my
he's
God!
Hey, you
I'm
remember
your biggest fan. You taught me how to play on the sword. Look at
you remember
this."
when my dad and you did that, and I was practicing.
Yeah.
I was practicing,
Yeah.
you know. And Leon's like, "Oh, cool. Hey, he's here."
Yeah. That guy, friends of my parents. Yeah.
My parents.
Yeah. And like the moon's shining down on this guy. He's like shining in the light, and it looks bad. He's huge. He's bad. He's got the great sword as well.
Yeah. But he's covered in blood.
He's covered in blood. His blood dripping off his sword. He's got some down his teeth, right?
And we notice something around his neck. It's the chain with the ring on it.
That's a very familiar ring he's got there.
I saw that ring earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier with the guy.
Yeah.
Hey,
Wait a
hey,
second.
wait a second. Something's not right. Something's not right.
Why,
And as
why is he looking at me like that?
Uri is like just so passionately fanboying, and he's saying, "Hey, look,
Yeah.
what I
And then there's this other part of this conversation where Crag and Krona, they're like, oh,
Hey, so there's something not right.
it's that guy. It's
a different guy.
He's got the sparrow tattoo on his arm, and that's. Stay with me. Yeah. And they kind of like close with each other. They got the weapons out, and they're like their reaction is the complete fucking opposite from you two, right?
Yeah.
And there's this weird vibe, and then what happens?
Oh. And even Zeke and Lucien, they catch on. And they're like, hey,
what's going on?
We're approaching. We're just like approaching, getting our weapons ready.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, we're like, oh, hey, we're trying to catch up with this guy, reminisce.
Hey, uncle.
He just looks at us, and it's like, just look in his eyes, glint, and then the glint of the blade as it goes through Uri, and he fucking skewers him like a kebab and kills him outright, like 48 damage.
Yeah, he dead.
Damn.
He dead.
Damn.
He dead.
And everyone's like, a charge! But before they get to him, they kill me. He kills me. I get stabbed twice. Two guys down, and eventually, one by one, everyone just gets rebusted by this guy.
Yeah.
With his giant greatsword, with no match for him. We got 1v6. Hard.
Yep.
Hard.
Yep. Like all the damage you did, it's all halved.
Yeah, because he's raging. He's a barbarian.
He's raging. When he rages, his mane turns this crimson kind of color. He's very cool looking.
Yeah,
very cool looking
badass
guy.
character.
Yeah, very badass.
Too bad he's evil.
Huh?
He's evil.
Yeah, and like Crag does a little bit of damage to him, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, the first time he attacks, this thing just kind of bounces off his armor, and he just kind of spits on him, right? There's a lot of history between Zaram and Crag, and Zaram just. He kind of doesn't even think about Crag that much, but for Crag, this guy's he fucking ruined his life.
Yep.
And he's like, who the fuck are you? I mean, I kind of know you, but you're like,
He's like, you enslaved me, you killed my friends, and he's like, huh, that just seemed like Tuesday to me.
Yeah. He fucks up everybody, right?
Yeah.
And you guys eventually all go down. You're all making your death saving throws. I'm surprised nobody like straight up failed both death saving throws and just died. Right?
Yeah.
You guys hung on for dear life. You succeed all your fucking death saving throws.
I mean, I was on 10 for the last 2 rolls, which I'm like, you just make it.
Just make it. But as you sort of you're hanging on to life, right? Yeah. You're like, and you're gurgling on the blood. But you at this point you'd make it, right? You'd make it if he left you.
Yeah.
But he just walks up to you, right? And the moon's shining behind you. You see the silhouette slowly approach you, and then you see his face just kind of peer down on you, and he says, "I'll tell your parents you died an honorable death." Yeah. Right. And then he just fucking.
He crushes my head like a melon. He crushes it.
And you get squished. You're dead. You're dead.
Beautiful bold head. Gets squished.
Yeah. And then he goes up to who is next? It might have been Lucien.
Yeah.
No, it was Krona. Krona was next. He goes with Krona, and he says, "Take joy in the fact that however minuscule your role is, you got to play a role in my legend, right?" Ooh. And then he just fucking stabs him. Ooh. Yeah.
What a fucking Chad. Yeah. I kind of like him. He doesn't give a fuck. He's a big Sigma man.
Sigma grind set. Yeah. He's got the Sigma grind set.
Yeah. He doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, and then he goes up to Lucien, and he starts reciting this thing. He's not even looking at Lucien anymore. He's just looking up at the moon, right?
Yeah.
And he starts reciting this passage. And
that's cool.
I have it here, but
bring it up.
Look away for a second. Look away.
This break is brought to you by Hot Cocoa. Stop by Ivanus to pick it up. It's quite expensive because, it takes a lot of money to import hot cocoa from the town. And we're back.
We're back. He looks up to the sky and he says, "God are the horns of heaven," right? Mm-hmm. And he just fucking skewers him into the ground, a little shish kebab, and he moves on. And as he's walking to Zeke, he keeps talking and he says, "That thrummed that thunderous chorus," right? Ash paints the murmuring children gray, and then he fucking skewers him again. Zeke's dead on the ground, and then as he's walking to the final person, Crag, right? And Crag's struggling for dear life, And Crag kind of sees him from his bloodied vision as he's walking closer and closer, and he can just kind of hear him, right? You can hear him walking, and the sound of the snow, and the seriousness of the situation. And he says, "From the field blossoms the felines paw, the hand paves the tranquil road, yet the dagger trails close behind." And then he finishes off the last member of your party, right?
Yeah.
And in your dying breaths, you see him walk over to Ezreev, pick her up, and just start walking back towards the town.
Hey, I'm already dead. I'm crushed.
I mean,
my eyeballs are like
you're
they're
dead.
outside my head now.
You're dead.
I'm looking like an amphibian.
Yeah, you got fucked up. But whoever was still kind of gasping for life, they saw him walk away with Ezreev, right?
Yeah.
And fade to black, right?
Yeah.
And we're like, wait, let's end the session then. That's it. And then because people have to do things, and they're like, well, we could go a little longer.
Yeah. I mean, it was like 6 p.m. instead of the 12 a.m.
We got time.
We got time. And people were like, hey, we can go a little longer.
Yeah.
Go a little.
We'll take a break. So we take a break.
Take a little. Take another break. Make some phone calls. Set some deals. Cash some checks, and we come back.
Yeah. We come back, and Yuri is the first one to feel this gasp of fresh air back into his body. He feels the coldness start to creep up in him. He feels the vicissitudes of life, the pain of life again. And then he looks up and he sees Grandpa Dong just kind of staring over at his body like, what the fuck happened to you? Grandpa's back. He's got a little straw hat. He's got diamonds in his hand, and like he's carrying them around. He's sprinkling them and he's chanting to revive him. And Yuri's very first reaction to it when it wakes up is just shock, and then tears.
Yeah.
Right, because Yuri's got his whole fucking life flipped upside down. Like my childhood hero, which I've worshipped my whole fucking life, literally just murdered me and my best friend.
Yep.
And he's like done. He's like mentally done, right? Which is a very solid reaction. I commend Aiden for his role playing there.
Yeah. Good performance.
Yeah, understandable. Grandpa Dong goes up to Leto next.
Yeah.
He wakes you up. And what was your reaction?
Why?
Yeah. He's yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just in hysterics.
Oh, why? What the fuck? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you murder us? He goes up to Krona, and they do the head bump thing where Krona just gets up instantly and bumps Grandpa on the forehead, and Grandpa's like, what the fuck, man? And then he goes to Lucian, picks up Lucian. Lucian's like, he says he says a devil's name, right?
Yeah.
And they'll peer into his backstory, like, ooh, it's something going on with devils here.
Yeah.
He sneaks
Hey, what
in.
was it?
He said something about Beelzebub.
Oh, Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, yeah. And then he's trying to sneak in a little bit of his backstory. I'm like, oh, I see you. I see what you're trying to do here. Yeah. You let that little flavor out. I see you.
Yeah. He'll get his chance.
Yeah, he gets his chance. And then he goes up to Zeke. He sprinkles on Zeke, and like, Zeke's fucking first reaction. Zeke's first reaction. Oh yeah.
It's all coming together. Zeke is just dying to get that Kronk line.
Yeah. He's very nonchalant.
I think it's a. Have you seen the scene where that's from?
Yeah.
He's just sleeping, and he sits up and he's like piecing together all the information. He goes like sleep, gets up. Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And he does it well.
Yeah.
Very nonchalant about his death. I like to imagine that both Zeke and Lucian have sort of gone through death and life a few times in their mercenary lifetimes, right? They've probably experienced it once or twice, so it's less of a shock to them. Although obviously it still hurts, and he goes up to Crag lastly, sprinkles him, and Crag gets up, and I don't really recall what Crag does. I think he was also sort of semi-calm about the whole thing, right? He was just sort of angry, right? And then there's this debate or discussion between the two little shits, the two little drug shits, and these two sort of seasoned, semi-seasoned adventurers, right? Yeah. Where they have very, very, very different viewpoints on Zaram, right? Because for them, Zaram is this villain, this guy who ruined their lives, ruined Crag's life, and killed a lot of their close friends and stuff. And for you guys, it's Zaram Bloodmane,
He's the hero.
the legendary hero
He's
who's
the
got his
family
own.
friend.
He's got his own theme song. He's got fucking like posters and he's got like merchandise. He's a hero.
Yeah.
Like he's like the hero.
Yeah.
And there's a discussion. Well, he's not what I think he is. He's not what you think he is. Like you need to learn to deal with like all these different perspectives. And it's great. It's a great moment, I think. It peers into your very different backstories and how they sort of intertwine with each other, right? What did you think about that whole thing?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. It really getting into the meat of the theme. It was good. It was good. That came into play very early on in the campaign.
Yeah.
And I like that everyone's trying to put an effort to run with that.
Yeah. I'm very happy with that. It's like, is he a hero? I mean, technically he is a hero, but is he still a hero? Was he ever a hero? He was doing all this bad shit, but he also did all this good shit.
Yeah.
So, man, what is he? What is he? What do I want to be like that when I grow up? I don't know. Like, and now there's that whole thing where Leto's like, I don't really. If that's a hero, then do I really want to be like that? Like, that's kind of fucked. Yeah, it's kind of fucked. And Grandpa starts talking about how maybe like you can change that. Like if you become a hero, you can sort of change that perspective. You can do whatever the fuck you want because you're a hero, right? And you talk about sending messages home to your parents, who you sort of let spill that they also were companions of Zaram. Yeah. And they helped Zaram do some stuff back in the day, right?
Yeah.
And Grandpa's like, well, they'd probably believe Zaram and not you,
which is fucked up.
Which is
It's fucked up.
It's apparent to the relationship you guys have with your parents, right? It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. They'd probably believe Zaram instead of you guys, right? And like, who's gonna believe that Zaram, the legendary great hero, murdered a bunch of guys in cold blood?
The invincible.
Yeah. Like, why would he do that?
Yeah.
There's no motive, no reason. Nobody knows. No one's gonna believe you. And Grandpa's like, well, they might believe you if you become heroes of your own, get a voice for yourselves, do some deeds, make some connections, Like, that's kind of where I'm trying to push it. That's where I'm trying to push it.
I can see it.
Yeah. And it looks like you guys are comfortable with that, and if you guys like that stuff, then we're going to go down that direction.
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll have to see. It's still beta?
It's still beta test.
When do you think we'll actually stop calling it the beta test? When do you think it'll be the full release, I think it will just be like, we'll be 15 sessions in and we'll still be calling it beta.
It's probably not the beta test anymore. Yeah, it's like, we should probably stop calling it the beta test. Or we just get to like the last session and be like, no, it's a beta test.
Beta test.
It's like 3 years down.
Okay, can't be too for real.
We should start now, huh? It was a good test run. But honestly, I think I like what we're doing right now.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Good party dynamic so far.
Yeah.
I think some players still finding their groove.
Yeah.
I think particularly Kronal and somewhat Lucian, but I think Lucian is getting there.
Yeah.
Lucian's getting there. I think Matt for once he's in the zone.
Yeah, he enjoys his character. He's good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's not just his voice. He's got a voice now.
Yeah, he's got a voice. It's got personality.
Yeah. I'd like to see him lean more into his actual character's like personality, though, like him being sort of like a selfish-ish asshole.
Yeah, he falls really easily to that good guy paladin. Yeah. I think to talk about the trees and stuff.
Oh yeah,
to swayed him a little bit.
Yeah.
There.
But obviously session 2, and there was like a 5-week break, so it's hard to get back into.
Yeah.
Not even get back into, just get into these characters that you guys have only played once in your lives, right?
Yeah. So people have the online. You can't think about D&D all the time.
I mean,
you have to think about D&D all the time.
You can think about D&D all the time. I think sometimes we think about D&D all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you thought about D&D, you'd know how your character is.
Ooh.
That's the
He
bomb.
said it.
That's not a bomb.
He said that. He said that. He said that. That's a bomb. That's a bomb. He dropped the bomb.
Hey, we gave him a present, and then we drop him a bomb. It equals out.
Yeah. We be equal here. Quality.
Yeah. Good stuff. And we decide that, okay, well, We got absolutely robbed. We find out that the oop has been stripped clean.
That's
all the
right.
drugs,
That's
all
right.
the supplies.
The winter steel's gone.
The winter steel. And Grandpa Dong is like, oh, I need to get more winter steel.
Yeah, like we need to
but
get
we have
more
no
steel back.
stuff. And then he also took the journal, but luckily Uri remembers that the central
They
spire.
know where they're
the
going.
central spire is like, oh, we could head there. But Layla's like, wait. How am I going to head there without any food or supplies? We're going to starve. We're going to totally
I've never
starve.
been this naked before.
We're going to totally starve freezing here. Yeah, and I like the naive, like, privileged kids, you know,
Yeah,
out of
the
their
city
out
kid.
of their
Yeah,
elements,
yeah.
and then the Crag's like, oh, we could just hunt. Don't you know how to hunt?
Like-
No, no.
What?
Are you kidding me?
I started fight. What? Gathering stuff? Are you crazy?
Doing manual labor? Come on, man.
We don't just buy food. I mean, what?
No, we can't just get the servants to bring them up. Or what?
It's a good dynamic, right? I really like it. And like if the whole like getting revenge or just wanting to know why Zaram did what he did isn't
Yep.
enough to push you, then there's the winter
That's
steel
good.
stuff.
That's good. That's
There's
good.
multiple reasons as to why you should be pursuing this thing.
Yeah, I think you mentioned earlier that you were contemplating in your head. Should I kill the party?
Yeah, I was thinking like a few days ago, like when I was finally like nailing down what I want to have done this session, I was like, fuck, am I really gonna spring the Zaram is a bad guy and murder the whole party?
Did you feel like, oh, if I'm gonna motivate these players, I'm gonna need to do something big.
Big.
Like, you
Big.
need to go
I
hard.
need, yeah. And I was thinking about it. I was like, I was kind of in that old Axian mindset where I'm like, I can't do something big right now. I can't.
Yeah.
Because it's just gonna fuck everything and everything's gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, no. It's
This is
beta,
different.
beta session.
Yeah,
It's beta session. I'm gonna do
test.
whatever the fuck I want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them all. I wanna show them that the childhood hero is this fucking villain. He's gonna murder all of them in cold blood and he's gonna peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Admittedly, I did. Like, as soon as he killed Uri in one shot, I was like, he's killing all of us. So the tension went out of my mind.
Yeah.
But I was like, but you know what? It's good. It's actually really good.
It's set
This
enough.
is a good plot point.
Yeah.
To like drive us forward. So in that respect, I think overall it's good, right?
Yeah.
I just I was very calm.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Matt was like, oh wait, hey, don't roll that, don't roll. I just roll. I just roll.
I'm gonna die. It doesn't matter.
I was hoping that I would die or I would get the fail because I had my last one left. And he's like, hey, stop rolling so nonchalantly. Hey, let me die. Let me die.
I know I'm gonna die. Just let me die, right? And I'm glad, right? Because you know that it's something that's necessary
Yeah.
to have a sort of semi-engaging plot.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just have to shirk the metagaming realization
Yeah.
of obviously he's gonna kill us and then we're gonna get revived
Yeah.
and whatever. In favor of good narrative.
But
good
at least
narrative
it
setup.
seemed like I was the only one who was like calm about it because like Lachlan was like nervous.
Lockie was like, my heart's fucking racing right now. I'm like, yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
I was really happy with that, and I was like, yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, and Matt was like freaking out. I was chill, but I was like, yeah, cool.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
It's good. Yeah, I am very excited to see where it goes. Because it could go so many directions.
Yeah.
It's good. And there's a little bit of mystery going on.
Yeah,
a little
let's
bit of
find out what
revenge
to deal
story
with.
going on. Yeah.
Let's
Look
find
into
out
the
what-
hero stuff going on. Is
Yeah.
he gonna be good? Is he
Yeah.
good? I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. It's promising.
I think
It's promising.
I think the effort into like the world building was like really elevated the whole experience. I'm very immersed now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
immersed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And that was like what I was hoping for. You know, way back when we started Axel, I was hoping for something like that. Obviously, that was like too big to us when we were starting to learn how to play D&D.
Yeah, yeah.
But now we're finally here.
Yeah.
And it's good.
We got some experience
It's
under our
good,
belt. We know
yeah.
what we want.
Yep.
Oh,
We're
we
better,
got
we're better
places.
players, you know.
Yeah,
Know what we're doing now.
yeah.
And now the campaign is flourishing.
And now we have to wait 4 weeks for the next.
25th. It's on the 25th.
2 weeks for the next one.
Wait,
And it might not even be on the 20th. Okay,
Wait, what do you
maybe
mean?
someone's
What do you
busy.
mean?
Maybe someone's busy. Maybe I'm busy again. Who knows?
You better not be fucking busy.
I won't be. Busy.
You better not be fucking busy.
It's okay. I won't be busy. But I could be busy.
No, but you won't be.
No, but
We schedule this 2 weeks in advance.
Some
There's
people
nothing
could be
booked
busy.
in.
Some
You're gonna
people
book
could be-
something in over the top of that?
someone could be like,
Huh?
I'm giving birth that day. You know? Who knows?
You can skip it.
Yeah.
Well, the 25th. That's locked in.
It's
Someone,
locked in.
you guys better not double book that.
Oh yeah.
Don't double book that.
Whoever's the guy that's like, oh, I'm actually busy. We beat him up.
Yeah,
we talk shit about him.
Yeah.
We talk shit about him. Yeah. You hear that? So don't do it. So don't do it.
Yeah. If they do hear it.
They're gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're in the middle of nowhere.
Oh
We're on top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
There's a log cabin. Who's gonna hear this?
I've been writing it down the whole time. I'm gonna put it in a journal. I'm gonna publish it in the newspapers, and they're gonna read it.
Newspapers? Do they even exist here?
The news criers.
They're just gonna read the whole script, the whole transcript.
They have to put in a voice for each of us, the little town's news crier. They'll reenact it in plays and stuff. You know? Little Amber Coast kids, little half-old kids. No?
Yeah. I gotta get out of this, Kevin. I gotta get out of this.
Look,
Kevin.
it's cold out there, man. There's monsters outside.
Freezing, man. Hey, why'd you pick here? There were a million places on Air D&D.
But look at the view.
I can't see anything. It's snowing. It's nighttime.
Look at the view. It's good.
Can't see anything.
It's good. And this place will become plot relevant at some point.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
This cabin.
Yeah.
Oh, we should carve something.
Oh, we should carve something.
Leave a mark.
Yeah, what you want to write?
What are we gonna put down?
Like blank was here, like Albert and Kevin were here.
Oh, yeah.
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 Where, like under the table.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the owners are gonna come back and inspect the place.
Oh,
right.
so
we'll
hide it somewhere. Right.
Yeah. A plus K and then FK. Fuck kingdoms. You know?
Why does it sound like we fucking in the cabin?
Yeah, put a love heart around it.
Because that's how much we love the podcast.
Yeah.
There's no way they're gonna misunderstand that if they ever come here.
And I'm gonna draw my knight character. Yeah, the rebrand.
That's just a stick man with a sword.
No, it's the knight character.
You can't draw for shit.
I worked hard.
You can't draw for shit.
I worked hard to make that knight character.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's a stick man with a sword.
Look, it's got a helmet and everything. You see?
I thought that was his eyes.
Oh, you try carving it into the table, huh?
Yeah.
This is fine oak.
Watch this.
Oh, that's disgusting. That's gross. Why she got titties?
How is he gonna tell she's a woman?
I don't know.
Hey, we good? Should we get out of here?
Good. Yeah.
We gotta go home, man. It's cold, dude.
Man, it's late. Why can't we just stay here?
I mean, that's what we booked it for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get top bunk.
Oh, good. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the box.
Yeah. So if someone comes in and murders us, you die first.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Because they see you first, and I'm watching from up top, like.
Well, who's gonna come up here? Who's gonna come up here? It took us 3 hours to trek up here.
Took you 3 hours? How fast are you? God damn. It took like a day and a half. Jesus.
A day and a half?
Yeah. It's a big mountain. We're on top of the mountains.
I was at the base. I thought we were gonna meet at the base. We didn't meet at the base of the mountain. You waited in town to get your hot chocolate. Whatever you wanted to
I
get.
had to get my imports. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Be good though. Hot cocoa good.
Where's the food though? I'm hungry.
Oh, I thought you bring food.
Oh man. Okay. We have to go back down the mountain and get some food, right?
Are we going back up the mountain to eat the food?
Whoa, where else are we gonna stay? Where else are we gonna stay?
Fuck.
Alright, let's go.